Well, Johnny's at it again over here at Wishbone Racing. Obviously, you guys remember how the A-pillars were completely pretty bad shape. They were pretty rotted out. John has rebuilt both of the A-pillars on this is the driver's side. Passenger side, if you guys see a little green, if you guys see some green lights there, that's his laser. He's running this thing on a laser parallel and what would that be? Longitudinal?
X and Y.
X and Y. Yeah. So here we go. So John's holding
a nice clean windshield frame.
The original windshield lower frame that was in the car. Look at this thing.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that thing is beautiful, all right.
Yeah.
It is really rotted out. So this has been his project. How many days you been working on this, John?
I don't even know. I try not to keep count. But I did. I just leveled off this bed on the platform. I used laser level, and I also have one of these smart levels, digital smart level. So I got everything leveled both ways, verified it with both of them. And then before I started putting everything, I got the plumb bobs down the center. I got it all centered, so I know it's dead nuts. Got the dimension, the correct width dimension between both A-pillars, because that one was hit on that side. It was off a little bit. But then I almost have done plug welding the windshield on. I got to grind all those off. And then the last thing I got to do is put the drip rails on. And these get spot welded in here.
How many hours do you think you got in it total, John?
I don't even know.
At least I would say 80 or 90, huh?
Yeah, I would say all of that. Yeah. And then, I have to fit this and put these in there, kind of like that. But at least it looks like it fits pretty darn good.
My guess is going to be that this car is probably going to be a little straighter than what it was from 1965.
It's straight now. I know they did these in a jig, but I got this thing straight now. It was a pain in the ass, but I got it.
Yeah.
So I had to cut out where the door bars are. I already fit the doors on it. I already had the windshield in it, so I know that they fit. And then the other thing I'm going to do before I get it powder coated is I'm going to drill the holes for the trim clips and check the stainless steel trim, put the window back in it, make sure everything fits before I do anything else.
So
light at the end of the tunnel. By the end of this week, I should be done spot welding these on. I'll be done this morning getting this done, and then clean it all off with the flat wheel where I plug welded it. TIG welded everything. I know I got a good weld on it. And then,
so this is what he's talking about. This is where he did all the
drill it and
plug weld all the way down here. So basically, from here's your A-pillar.
That was brand new. I had to replace this piece, and the bottom on this one was not bad. Didn't have much work to do on this one. Yeah, this was all pretty much original. It was good. The other side, it was damaged and it was rusty.
The other side of the car was hit, right?
Yeah, it was hit over there.
All right. So
when we get done, I'll take a video of all the pieces that I replaced. They're sitting in the box over here. What I took out of there, and I'll lay it all out and see how many pieces are new and how many are not. But that level worked out really nice. It's got a pendulum in it, so it levels itself.
Yeah, that thing is really cool.
I went across both things. I know I got it dead nut straight right along the line. So
if you see, he's running. He's got a string running right down the center of the fixture, and then he's got a bunch of plumb bobs, and then on top of that, he has. This is an auto leveling. What is this, John?
A laser level X and Y. It's got Amazon. They're like $50, and it's got a pendulum. It kind of swings. It'll self level itself. And
Things are really cool.
I made sure everything was level here, and a couple jacks to make sure that the fixture was level. Did all that, and every place I'm shooting points on, it's coming across good.
Awesome.
So
then
almost there.
The passenger side A-pillar here, this car was hit on this side. Yeah. So it was tweaked a little bit. And
they had textures and JB Weld holding it on. You can see I replaced this here. I welded it on. Everything I welded on here, I welded it on both sides. So from here down, I replaced this piece. That's new. This is new. And then I got the good dimensions. Luckily, the other side I could get good dimensions off because it was never hit. So this is 93 degrees, 87 degrees on this side. I got it the same. Got the correct dimension going across.
For the guys that maybe want to ever know, what is the factory setting, John, on the A-pillar?
87 degrees on the back side, 93 degrees on the front side.
93 in the
And
front.
then I dropped plumb bobs off of these mounting points going straight down, so I made sure I hit them in the right way. Measured off of here, down, measured over. It's like a 1/4 inch in from this bolt going down on both sides. This is 62 3/16 going across. Got that dimension right. So, yeah. And then, like I say, I had the doors fit on here. The doors fit pretty good. Now, I gotta put the doors back on after I get the windshield frame on. I'll fit the windshield in there, and then I'll put the doors on so I can put these drip rails on.
So essentially, the only thing you have, well, obviously you can buy this from.
Yeah, and it's not quite, I mean, they're good, but they're not exactly perfect. Like the factory had a lot sharper angle on it. If you look at the radius on this, it's kind of rounded here. Where if you look at this factory one, it's real crisp.
Oh, sure.
But this is thinner metal. This is thicker sheet. This is thicker metal.
Probably
this
better.
This is like 18 gauge here.
Okay.
The original, and this is like 16 gauge.
16 gauge on the
It's a little bit thicker
aftermarket.
here. Yeah.
So the lower, I guess you call this the.
Yeah, the windshield pillar,
Windshield
outer pillar, and inner pillar.
So that's been completely replaced.
Lower windshield frame.
Lower
Middle
windshield
center,
frame.
This has been replaced in the middle here. These pieces they do not make for a coupe, so, but that's okay because these were, I had to fix this one up on the top. It had rust, but this one was good, and there's tooling holes underneath, and that's what I set the whole thing up on before I even took the car apart. I started putting a jig in there off the tooling holes. But this side was definitely tweaked a little bit. It was in too far.
So you guys that are willing to take on this project, 63 to 67 Corvette birdcage, it can be done. John's a very good fabricator, and I'm sure there's many people out there that would be interested in.
All it does is take time.
Time. I mean, just to kind of recap this, he's replaced all the lower, repaired both A-pillars.
B-pillars.
He's rebuilt all of this. This was all rotted on the back of the B pillar.
And then on the bottom of the channel going from the A-pillar to the B-pillar.
Bottom channel from the A. So that's a new rocker.
Rocker on there, and then the upper channel at the bottom of the upper channel.
So we're talking right here, rocker. So
We'll do a video when it's all done of all the pieces that I replaced, and then it was really weird. Like I said, these pieces on the inside, there was like shiny clear metal on this, but the bottom pieces were rotted through, like condensation.
So he's talking about underneath here.
Yeah, like
underneath.
this, I had to make these pieces going forward. And
So that's all made from scratch as well, correct?
yeah, and it's weird. Like I say, when I cut them off of here, the inside of this was like shiny metal with the little spotches of rust, but the bottom of this was gone. So condensation or whatever moisture probably runs down and sat on this and
Sure.
rotted that out. But yeah, like I say, I verified going across, everything is dead nuts. I got it all level, so it's getting there. But it's kind of weird how they made these cars. You know, on here, this part of this, on this outside of the door, this has all got filler in it. It's got like panel bond. I think when they made the cars, they made the body too big where it overhangs where the B pillar and A pillar is, and then they put the doors on. I heard that the doors were not made on the same line that the bodies were made on, and then what they would just do is trim the fiberglass back to get their opening on the body, and then there'd be a lip sticking out, and then you just filled it in inside there. Because you couldn't even see this metal once you started taking this all off. It was all had like panel bond, like body filler in here. And that part on this side hadn't been touched. But yeah, it's kind of interesting how they make it.
So all four corners of this birdcage has been rebuilt.
Yeah. Like
And I would say,
and the other thing are sitting on the floor over there.
yeah, the old rockers, yeah,
There.
just totally rotted out there.
Yeah. And the clips for the rocker moldings, those were going
And these
on
are
the
the
inside.
B pillars on the back here.
Yeah, this one is the factory one on the driver's side. This is somebody's handiwork here that was full of Bondo
yeah.
over the top where they tack welded it. After it was hit there, that was probably tweaked. And then the repair job up on top, they put a piece
piece
of
on the
metal
very top.
in there.
Yeah, sure.
Junk.
Junk.
Yeah.
Well, That's what you get for guys that are fly-by-night that are just willing to flip these Corvettes. So you got to be really careful when you're buying these old Corvettes because you can't see it.
Right.
All you're doing is just working on somebody's word. But at least we know if old Wishbone Racing ever decides to sell this beautiful 65, there's there's some good quality work here and it's done right.
Here's another bad piece where the drip rail goes. This is the bottom of the drip rail, right? Well, this gets spot welded in here. So any water or sludge or water or anything that runs in here is supposed to run in between here and run out by the door. Well, what does it do? It gets behind here. They put some sealer on here that goes away once you get this thing on here. And then when you pull this off, you can't see it because the fiberglass is there, but you pull that off and it's all rotted underneath there. That was the first thing I fixed.
Yeah.
So then those will go back on there like that.
And then you're obviously going to put some kind of a...
2-part seam sealer.
Yeah, so it won't leak in there anymore.
Yeah, something that's good. Like
That's
I say,
good.
when we get done, I'll put all the parts on the floor and you can see everything that got
So this is part 3 of Wishbone Racing 65 Corvette birdcage. For all you enthusiasts out there, it can be done. It just takes time and effort, man. We'll keep you guys informed. We'll keep you in tune.